Hi guys, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to teach us how to make fried rice. And yeah, so we went home to Shogbo for Easter break, and my aunt wanted us to make fried rice. So I went to the market, but then Shogbo people, what's up? Don't you guys eat vegetables? Because before I even got these ones, I struggled, and then they were not fresh. They were not fresh. Most of them, the spring onions especially, they were not fresh. I had to buy them like that. Anyway, so I got carrots, runner beans, spring onions, garlic, ginger, bell peppers, green bell peppers. They didn't have the yellow and red bell peppers. So I just had to make do with what they had, of course. And yes, for my fried rice, I don't use canned products. I prefer to use just vegetables. So I don't use the sweet corn inside the cans. I don't use the green peas inside the cans. I don't use all of that. So I just buy the normal vegetables. I cut them. It is a chore, especially cutting carrots. It is a chore. Anyway, so this was when I started cutting the carrots. Yeah. So for the carrots, they have to be diced. They have to be cut into cubes, right? I believe that for fried rice, carrots are the stars of fried rice. That's like the star of the meal. So you just need to make sure your carrots are properly diced. They are properly cut into cubes and not just round. You're not just cutting them anyhow. I mean, it's fried rice. It has to be beautiful. So make sure they are diced into cubes. Yeah, so just cut and cut. It is a lot of work, really. That's why sometimes I run away from fried rice. You just really have to cut. So this was where I had cut the runner beans and the carrots. Yeah, I still had more to cut here, but then I was just showing videos of that. And then this was me cutting the spring onions. For the spring onions, you don't need to cut into a particular shape. Just follow the spring onions are long. Just cut into small pieces like this. Make sure they are not too long. I mean, it is fried rice, not spaghetti. Do you feel me? Yeah, so after this, I put my pot on fire, and I made sure it was dry, and then I put butter inside the pot to melt. And after that, I poured in some vegetable oil. I mixed it with it. For my rice, I was making 14 cups of rice, right? And it is very, very, I would advise that you make sure you wash off the starch. Make sure you wash off the starch and I say starch. Make sure you wash off the starch. Make sure you wash and wash and wash. Keep washing until you're sure that okay, this thing has completely the starch in the rice has completely washed off. And yeah, so that this is I do this so that the rice is not mushy or lumpy or something like that. It is fried rice. You don't want to be eating rice that looks mushy, right? It is not semo. It is rice, fried rice. Anyway, so this was me washing and washing and washing, because it takes a lot, right? Just keep washing till you're completely satisfied with what you have done. Yeah. So after this, I poured the rice inside. Remember the oil and the butter, and then I poured rice. I usually fry my rice first, right? So you fry it, you keep frying it inside that small. You don't need plenty oil, right? Just put the rice like that, washed rice. Keep frying it, keep stirring it, because it is more oil and there's no water in it just yet. So you just have to keep stirring it, stir fry basically, stirring it and frying it so that it doesn't burn. And this process is very important so that your fried rice does not go bad and it can be tasty and all of that. Fried rice goes bad easily. Yeah, so this would prevent your fried rice from going bad, and then it will make it stand one. You get? Anyway, so I kept stirring and stirring and stirring and then I added all the rice and stirred everything. See, stirring. Make sure you do your due diligence, but do this on low heat though. Do this on low heat. You can't be cooking this with firewood. Do you feel me? You have to cook it on low heat. And then after I'd done all of that, I put in my chicken broth, and so I added to taste. Do you get? They just told me it was enough and I stopped. So you mix everything together. Remember, I've still not added water here. So usually I like to add broth into whatever I'm cooking first before I even put the seasonings, because broth is sweet normally. So when I taste it, I'll know that okay, I need to add this particular quantity of seasoning into my food. Anyway, so we keep going, and then at this point, I think I added the fried rice coloring or fried rice spice, whatever it's called. For fried rice, I believe that less is more. You don't want to cook a completely green rice. This is not photosynthesis or you're trying to prove a point that you did Greek in school. It is not a farm. All right, it should not be too green like Nigerian flag. You just have to put a little bit of it. Less is more, just like makeup. Fried rice, less is more. So then after that I added in some water, because at this point I felt that this thing, it has fried enough now. It has fried enough. So I added water, some water, not too much, just a little bit. It's fried rice. You cannot slack. Just a little bit of water. Remember, I had already added the chicken broth. I've added the fried rice spice, the green spice. Please make sure you don't pour the green. I did not send you to go and pour the green inside it all. See, for 4 cups, I even used very tiny bit from that small sachet. So make sure you are not pouring everything inside it. You want your fried rice to be bougie and nice. And then after that, I added Benny stock. Guys, this is the truth. I'm not even going to lie. This Benny stock is the truth. So I added a whole sachet into my 14 cups of rice, and then I mixed everything. See, I like to stir. So you will see a lot of stirring in this video. I like to stir a lot because I don't want my Maggi to go to Kafancha and then my salt to go to Abuja. No, everything must sengemenge mixed together. And then I added salt, a little bit of salt though, You don't want to pour a heap of salt. You are not Lot's wife, rather. Anyway, so you mix it and turn it. Stir it. Make sure everything is, everything is well encompassed into it. And then I added more of that green spice. Guys, just a little bit. See the way I'm doing shrimp. Please, in fact, I did not even cut everything. No, I just cut it by the side and I poured a little bit of it. Anyway, so I kept stirring to make sure all the ingredients are well all the ingredients are inside the rice. Make sure you turn everything, stir as much as you can. If you don't have strength, borrow strength. Stir everything. Make sure your rice, your ingredients, everything together. Then I added water. At this point, I wanted to, start cooking the rice. See, all this thing I was doing at this point, low heat, very, very low heat. And then I added water, a little bit of water, because we don't want mushy rice. It is fried rice. So then I added water. And when I saw that, okay, it was enough, I stopped. Please listen to your intuition, listen to your whatever your mind is telling you. So for the veggies, this was what I did. I added more butter. I added butter into the pot for the veggies, and then I added oil. I mixed oil and butter for the veggies too, because at this point I wanted to, the rice had already started cooking, right? So I wanted to fry the veggies. So I added all of these things. And then after that, remember for fried rice I said dice. So when you are cutting, you cannot be cutting ring ring onion size or ring onion shape for fried rice, you have to dice it in. So yeah, I was pouring in my diced onion and garlic. I didn't use garlic powder. I used normal garlic. Yeah. So I poured it in. Make sure it was doing shin. Everything was doing shin. Turn, stir. You don't want it to. You need it to release the aroma into it. You need it to release its flavor into the oil. And then I added some ginger. Please, less is more. If you see, I will not even say if you like. Please don't add big tree of ginger or garlic into it. So here everything had already fried, and then I put in all my veggies, the diced veggies, the carrots, the green peas, the carrots, the runner beans. I didn't use green peas because the guy didn't have fresh ones. The carrots, runner beans, the spring onions, the onions. Yeah, so I put in everything, and then I started stirring them. I started stirring everything together. Started stirring because this one too was on low heat, very very low heat, right? Because I don't like to overcook my vegetables, because what's now the point of not buying canned stuff if I would overcook the vegetables or over fry? So I stirred everything, and then I added in some spices into the vegetable. So I added in some little bit of nutmeg, some little bit of thyme, some little bit of curry, some little bit of bouillon cubes and salt. Yeah, so I added in Benny too, just a little bit of everything. Remember, we already seasoned our rice. You don't want salt to be too much inside your food or anything. You don't want it to be. It is fried rice. Fried rice is a dish that can, mess you up, right? It can mess you up for real if you don't know how to make it, or if you're not careful. You have to pay total attention. You have to pay attention to it. So you need to keep stir everything. I've already added everything, and then I kept stirring and all of that, and then I let it to cook a bit, to fry a bit. Like I said, I'm not going to let it over fry or overcook. Just a little. Normally, I use my hand to scoop salt. I use my hand for salt. But for this particular one, I was using spoon because I did not want to overpour. Right? So I just added tiny shrimp. And then I used just 2 bouillon cubes. I used Knorr. Is it Knorr or Knorr? I think somebody said it's Knorr. So I used Knorr chicken for this. And then at this point, all the aroma everywhere was already smelling nice. My little cousins were like, nice, tasty. Anyway, so shout out to my little cousin Dodibola. She was the one that was making all these videos as I was doing everything. Shout out to you, my girl. Anyway, and then I poured in the bell pepper that I had already diced. Like I said, I diced everything. So you have to be really careful, and you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention to details. Details is very important for me when it comes to fried rice. So I diced everything. At this point, everything was already fine, for real. Again, low heat. So I didn't put too much. It wasn't fire or fiery furnace burning under this pot. It was just tiny fire that was under it, right? If you were there, you could have heard only the tiny shrink, just the tiny shrink, and not all of these ones, and then at the end I now poured everything inside our rice. Look at how that rice looks, right? Look at how it looks. It doesn't look too green. It doesn't look like plants. It doesn't look like a wedu. It looks like rice. And then look at the vegetables too. They were mildly fried. And then you start stirring. Like I said, you must be able to exercise your arms. So maybe you should go and carry weight before you start this meal. It's not that deep. Anyway, just turn everything. Start stirring everything together. This is one of my favorite methods because it is easy to make fried rice. I can make fried rice 1,000,000 ways and it will slap. But this is my favorite, for real. Anyway, you just stir. And look at that. Look at the rice. And to be honest, let me tell you the truth, that rice is done. So it's not as if, rice in your the rice is not done. My rice is done. It is done. The rice is done, and it is not overdone. It's not as if you are eating semo. No, the rice was done well, the right way, and then stir. So I covered it to cook for a while, just for like 2 minutes, and then after I stirred again. Like I said, I like to stir. My food, I like to stir. So this was me stirring the fried rice. Look at how good this rice looks, for real. Don't you want to eat from the screen? Look at that. See how it is doing woro woro woro. Nice. And then I paired with some jollof, totally unplanned jollof that my aunt said, "Are you not going to make jollof?" So this is it.
How does it taste?
Jollof. And this is my sister.
10 over 10.
Giving reviews.
What did you say?
This is my older sister.
Okay.
Also giving reviews. My little cousin Debola, my videographer, and this is my aunt eating and enjoying the life, chopping the life of her head. My little cousin Desola. She loved it. And yeah, for me, it means a lot to me when my family members, when I cook for people and they love it. So I hope you enjoyed and learned. Thank you for watching. Please click the subscribe button, share, like, comment if you liked it, comment if you learned one or two from the video, and also put on the post notification for my channel. Thank you so much for watching all the time and sharing to everybody. God bless you. Bye.